first started covering this story in 2010 when we met Bill Macomber's son, Ron, who had been raised to believe his dad was a monster. Not long before we met him, though, Ron got a call from a lawyer with the Arizona Justice Project, which works to free innocent inmates.
He says, no other way to tell you this. We think your father's innocent, and we're pretty sure your mom framed him for it.
At the time of the arrest, Bill and Carol Macomber's marriage was falling apart, and Carol was working at the local sheriff's office where she had access to the evidence.
I don't have any doubt anymore that my mom did this, that my mom framed my dad for murders.
Did you frame your husband?
No, absolutely not.
Back in 2010, we managed to track down Ron's mother, Carol Kempfert, at her home in Olympia, Washington.
I didn't wake up one morning and say, oh, gee, I think I'll go frame my husband today. And I passed 4 polygraphs, and I'll be happy to take another. But I did not tamper with any evidence.
The notion that your son would say that you're capable of acting in such a diabolical fashion, that's kind of, it's a damning statement.
Ron, oh boy, I don't know if I want to get into this. Ron always has been a follower.
You saying he's gullible?
Critical thinking is not one of Ron's better skills. What can I say? And if anyone was ever made for Bill to mold and manipulate, it'd be Ron.
Let's say I am gullible, and my father is manipulating me. Please explain to me how he's manipulating the Arizona Justice Project and everybody else who believes in his innocence and is fighting to get him out.
There was another group that believed Bill Macomber's story, the Arizona Clemency Board, which, in a rare move, unanimously recommended his sentence be commuted, saying, quote, an injustice has been done in Mr. Macomber's case. The board pointed out that another man, Ernesto Valenzuela, confessed to the murders, something the jury was never allowed to hear.
Went to effect.
Even though Governor Jan Brewer had handpicked the members of the Clemency Board, she rejected their recommendation and refused to speak about it with us or the family. Governor, my name is Dan Harris. I'm from ABC News. So Ron and I showed up unannounced at one of her press conferences.
We've all been asking why. Why won't you release him?
Well, you know, it's an unfortunate situation that governors have to make difficult decisions, regardless of what recommendations are made to them. I appreciate your concerns, but I've made my decision, and it's final.
All right, guys, we are done today. This is your executive clemency board, Governor. This is your board. Thank you all very much. Why wouldn't you follow the recommendation of your own board, Governor? Is there political motive here on your part?
Absolutely.
Desire not to look soft on crime procession?
Absolutely.
But then Macomber's lawyers launched a last-ditch effort to clear his name in court. An effort so strong, apparently, that prosecutors finally agreed to offer Macomber a plea deal, and the judge set him free.
Mr. Macomber, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
At his news conference today, Macomber marveled at how the outside world had so utterly changed and talked about his first hours of freedom.
I allowed myself 1 beer. After 38 years, I was a little bit hesitant to go beyond that point.
We just hugged each other. There was nothing to say. This is what we've been, I can't say it enough. This is what we've been waiting for so long.
Macomber was asked about Governor Brewer.
So if you can't say something nice about somebody, don't say nothing at all. So with your permission, ma'am, I'll say nothing at all.
We tried to get a comment today from the governor, but her spokesman did not respond. We did, however, speak with Carol Kempfert.
My first reaction was, I didn't believe it.
Who requested that we conceal her face because she'd recently had a stroke that left her partially paralyzed.
I can't convince people that I didn't frame him. They're going to believe whatever it is they're going to believe. But I'm here to tell you, they just let a double murderer out.
Today, Macomber said both of those things are untrue.
If I never hear her name again, it's fine.
At 77 and in failing health, it is unclear how much time he has left. But today, at least, it did not seem like Bill Macomber would spend his newfound freedom wallowing in bitterness.
Justice, however late, is still justice.
For Nightline, this is Dan Harris in New York.
What a story.